Haya, kuanzia leo hakuna kulala. Kuanzia leo hakuna kwenda nyumbani. Kuanzia leo lazima mtu afukuzwe. Kuanzia leo hata wakitushika wafanye nini? Wameleta polisi, pambana na hao. Kuanzia leo ni Raila Odinga. Kuanzia leo ni uhuru wa Kenya. Kuanzia leo ni revolution. Asante.
Wewe Mungu. Gladys Wanga. Patie pande hii. Gladys Wanga na babu.
Vijana ria. Aya, vijana ria. Vijana ra. Wazee tibi. Wazee tialala. Leo ni leo, asemaye kesho. Kama noma. Kama mbaya. Kama ngori.
Kama noma. Leo ilikuwa noma. Let me hear what you're saying. Kenyans, karibuni sana, leo kumewaka. I have able gentlemen here. Allow me to add them to show. Let me also have you, just mute kidogo, Mr. Amson. I don't know about you, but today was a great day in some aspect. It was also a challenging day, but all in all, we are all Kenyans. How are you affected by today? How did you get engaged the day? Let me know. Send your comments in, like many are doing. You can also join in the panelists and make sense of what is happening. I want to also say this, that you are allowed to join in, whether you support what is happening, whether you don't support, but by the end of the day, you have a right to speak as a Kenyan. Link ndio hiyo hapo, ukiingia ndani, unaingia, tunakuweka kwa show moja kwa moja, show watu wakija. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for that interruption. Nikos, naomba radhi. Mambo ya network hapa. Namuona nani hapa? Shadrack Chilchil anasema asante sana. Unasema vipi? Raila cannot be scared. But mlirudi na unga. Wacha tuendelee kuona maoni yenu. Tutaona nani hapa? Douglas Mudhuri, asante sana kwa kuwa kwa show. Halima, asante sana kwa kuwa kwa show. Nianze na hao walio ndani ya show, lakini kidogo kabla nianze nao, wacha tusikie response ya president ilikuwa gani. Nelson, nakuona, asante sana, thank you for being part of the show. Amos, nakuona, asante sana. Wacha tumsikize rais alikuwa na yapi ya kunena.
Is actually condoning impunity, and there is no end to it. Once we go that slippery route, it could end anywhere. So I want to encourage us, as the people of Kenya, all of us, to respect the law, because it's made for all of us. And if there are any sections of the law, the Constitution, that we are unhappy about, there is a process for its amendment or change, so that we can at all times operate within the Constitution. Finally, Mr. Solicitor General, we have also committed ourselves, especially on the matter of two-thirds gender bill that currently is in discussion in the House. I will depend on you to support the push for us to once and for all settle this subject of gender in our
We, sawa. Karibu sana Bwana Nelson. Asante sana kwa kuwa part of the show. Thank you ladies and gentlemen. Those watching us from far and wide. Karibuni sana. Let us know what you're saying about this topic today. Above all, let me know where you're watching us from. Aha. Nelson. Today ni ile siku. You are in Nairobi. Give us a feel. How was it today?
Well, first and foremost, me, I did not go to town. I did not go
Aha.
to work. My place of work is so much close to KICC, Supreme Court, and City Hall.
Okay.
And my employees turned up, but I was informed adequately that there were some 2 civilians who were given tear gas, walking around with tear gas almost in a sack sort of a bag, and they were throwing this tear gas everywhere and to anyone, whether you're just walking peacefully, whether you're just doing your own thing, whether you've just gone to town to do your own work. In fact, they even threw some to KCB Bank Salama branch. To an extent, they had to vacate everybody from the bank, and not everybody, like customers, staffs of the bank. So the only people who could remain inside the bank were the people who are operating from the operation side, the behind the tellers side. In fact, one of my banker, the lady who manages my account, called me and told me, "Hey Nelson, if you have not come, please don't come." She was calling to inquire about some transaction that I had commissioned earlier on. Now, Jake, have you heard of somebody eating an humble pie?
Aha.
If you heard and you watched and you saw and you analyzed as a good literature person, or rather literature, somebody interested in body language and all that, good communication, a good communicator, you must have seen the president eating his humble pie. This is not the president who was so much hard yesterday in his voice and talking with a lot of vigor, with a lot of power, telling people how he's going to deal with them, telling people how the government has put in strategies to deal with the opposition and the maandamano and the rest. Today, the president who was talking in the State House, his place of work, to me, I think that is the only work that the president had today, swearing in the Solicitor General. Other than that, even him, he was enjoying the holiday.
Aha.
And in fact, Raila promised a holiday. Francis Atuli said something one day that Raila is the only one person out of in Kenya today living who can declare and call a holiday out of the Kenyan gazetted holidays in the Constitution of Kenya, and it will happen. For me, in this case, a lot were at stake. People did not turn up at work. People did not go to their normal daily operations and the rest. And as I said yesterday, I was not in support of that getting to that level. But then I am in support of the idea that we need to have a conversation. And if at all that is the manner in
Nelson,
which
if I can engage you kidogo so that we can have the show now running. The deputy president alikuwa anasema waandamane hata mwaka mzima. With what happened today, do you think we can handle a mwaka mzima form of what we are having today?
No, we can't. First of all, the deputy president himself is the one who really lowered himself at while talking to a given
In Mombasa.
congregation in Mombasa. He even said, "I am requesting these people of Azimio to kindly
stop the
call this
maandamano."
strike off by evening so that we can go back to work. The government has lost 2 billion. It is more than 2 billion, my brother. First of all, the county government of Nairobi was completely paralyzed today, including the governor was having a holiday. The county government of Nairobi. Now, before talking about the national government was also completely. If Gashago was in Nairobi, he could have been enjoying a holiday.
Mute and Lamasho, mute so that we can. Deno and Lamasho, mute your mics kindly. Go ahead, Nelson.
If Gashago was in Nairobi, he could have enjoyed the same holiday that the rest of the Kenyans also enjoyed. Now, this is the thing. Raila only talked about a holiday being there. And it is like the government took it upon themselves to implement the fact that Raila has already talked about a holiday, we have to implement. If you looked at the people who turned up when Raila now finally showed up, together with Martha Karua and his people, Jake, you will agree with me, those people have nothing to lose. Jake, you will agree with me.
Nikuulize tu mbio tukisonga before nikaribisha kina Lamashan. You see, ilikuwa ni kwanza twende State House and then kukakuwa na change of plan. Kidogo kidogo tukawaona wameenda side za kina Eastleigh and all. That change of tactic, do you think it was a strategy? Ama walikuwa forced na venye polisi waliwavamia?
Look, first of all, I was going there. I was headed there. As I was saying, as I started before, Raila only said there will be peaceful picketing, mandamano and the rest, and then public holiday on Monday because he wanted these people to turn up for the so-called mandamano and the picketing. And then the government took it upon itself to implement. How did the government implement? The government implemented a complete shutdown of operations in Nairobi and other parts of the country by employing and deploying police officers who are supposed to be out there fighting bandits, to fight innocent Kenyans who simply want to say, we are suffering. Lower the price of unga, lower the price of sugar, lower the price of cost of living. Now, I was telling you, the march to State House is neither here nor there. That's just an intimidating. It is just an intimidating language that the opposition is using to at least get the grip of attention of the government. But the government, as I said yesterday in the show, this is a timid, afraid, immature kind of people who are in power and do not know what to do in power with power. They do not have the wisdom to rule and to run. So for them, if Raila says we are going to do this, they're already in a panic mode. They act towards that, not knowing this could just be a strategy of what not to be done, of what not to be done. Again, as a political person and as a political leader, you want to address the people you had told to turn up.
Okay.
You just come to address them.
Hapo umesema you wanted to address the people who turn up. Now, kuna watu pia hapa wameturn up kwa WhatsApp na kwa Facebook na naona Shadrack Kilchil ameturn up, naona Koskei Ezra ameturn up, naona Jacinta ameturn up, naona Educationist Kennedy ameturn up, naona nani mwingine hapa ameturn up, Manase Njuguna uko ndani, Julius Saberu uko ndani, Wasike Junior uko ndani, Hilary Thuranira uko ndani, asante sana. Mevo uko ndani, Steve Diaby uko ndani, Jackie L na kuona uko ndani. Wacha tusikie maoni yako. Wewe kwako leo ilikuwa holiday. What made your day today? What was that fantastic thing you saw? What was that amazing thing? What was that bad thing you saw? Wacha tujue. Today was a holiday. Did it make it or break it for you? Was it just someone is saying it was hot there? Just one moment, Amos. What to scare maoni yako? Before I come back to you, Nelson, Amos, what is your reaction to what happened today? Amos? Amos, what is your reaction to what happened today, sir? Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute. Oh my. Are you able to unmute? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you. What happened today to you? What was
inasema hivyo wakati wa keti man ilikuwa nzuri, hata mama ya kwa maandamano ya amani.
Sijui kwa nini uko na echo. Kama unaweza tulia tu mahali, uache kutembea, usimame tu kidogo, utulie ndio tusikie vizuri. Sorry?
Uko sawa hapo?
Uko sawa, endelea sasa.
Sasa hivi. Mimi nilikuwa hapa. Maandamano ilikuwa maandamano ya amani. Tulitangaza maandamano ya amani. Sawa, lakini sasa kubwa serikali ilitumia maandamano kukandamiza watu wengine. Kwa mfano, wakati walikuwa wamekuwa street nzuri, waacha kama South Africa waliingia. Sasa wana maana mzuri bila kelele bila nini. So sisi tunafanya tuandamane yetu vizuri bila fujo yenye ilikuwa. Mimi nashuku kama mimi na polisi wanaanza.
Amos, nitakuuliza tu log out alafu log in, that way itasaidia.
Okay, sawa.
Wacha nikaribishe Dennis na Junior Wasike. Okay. Dennis na Junior Wasike, habari ya saa hizi? I hope mmekuwa na siku poa. Junior Wasike, uko tayari? Wasike, are you there? Hata nianze na wewe mwenye namuona. Dennis, siku yako umeionaje leo? Holiday imekuleta vipi?
Imekuwa holiday ni kweli, na siku imeisha vizuri, isipokuwa jambo tu la kusema kwamba ingewezekana kungekuwa na maandamano ya amani. Lakini polisi wamefanya ikawa vile ilikuwa, but kwa mahali kubwa imekuwa ya amani, kwa sababu maandamano yalikuwa Eastleigh, yakaenda Mathare, hakukuwa na uharibifu, destruction ya mali, ilienda vizuri hadi Ruaraka. Kwa hivyo maybe polisi wa Kenya wamezoea kwamba maandamano ni lazima wananchi warushiwe tear gas. Ingewezekana wafanye maandamano ya amani, na hiyo ni haki ya kikatiba. Wana sababu
polisi walichangia shida za leo.
Wamechangia, yalikuwa maandamano ya amani. Kwa sababu kuanzia Eastleigh kuelekea Mathare, Ruaraka, hatujakuwa na incidents zozote za kusababisha kwamba watu wapoteze mali yao. Kwa hivyo ikiwezekana kwamba vile imefanyika South Africa, kwamba askari wanaheshimu haki za waandamanaji, wanawasaidia wasije wakapita mipaka, kuchunga mali na maisha ya waandamanaji, pia inaweza kuwa jambo nzuri. Lakini yale ambayo tumeona si vile mambo inastahili kuwa, and therefore lakini jambo lile ningependa kusema kwamba ni fahari wawili wakipigana nyasi ndio huumia. Ingekuwa bora kama Rais Ruto angekubali kuongea na opposition. Na unajua sasa Kenya hii tumekuwa na hii dhana ambayo sio nzuri, kwamba kuna wale wa Kenya ambao walipigia yule ambaye hakushinda, na kwa hivyo vile walipigia, tuseme sasa kwa mfano Raila Amolo Odinga, kwamba inakuwa ni winner take it all. Hata ukiangalia ule uteuzi umefanywa na rais wa sasa Ruto, amekuwa na ukabila sana, na tukasikia deputy wake akisema kwamba hii ni ya wanahisa. Hisa kuwekeza kwa hii serikali ni kwamba ulipigia hii serikali kura. Kwa hivyo kama wewe hukupiga, wewe kazi yako utakuwa tu unalipa ushuru. Kuna wanahisa ambayo ni utterance mbaya sana kutoka kwa deputy president.
Dennis, hapo mimi nina swali wanaopewa hizi nafasi sio waliopiga kura, ni wale ambao walikuwa wana campaign. Wapiga kura kama mimi kwa mfano, ama yule aliyepiga kura kama Nelson na mwingine, hatujaona wapiga kura wa huko chini wakichaguliwa. So ni wapiga kura wanaotuzwa, ama hao ndio wenye hisa, ama ni wale ambao walikuwa pale wanaitwa ring readers?
Unajua Kenya hii kupiga kura kuna mambo mbalimbali, tuko na ukabila. Ukiangalia kwa kikubwa wale ambao wanatoka maeneo ya Rift Valley ambapo rais wa sasa anatoka na deputy president anatoka pande ya Central, watu wa area hiyo ndio wanaangaziwa kama wenye hisa, wamewekeza katika hii serikali kwa sababu ya kura nyingi ambazo walipatia yule ambaye alishinda. Na kwa hivyo viongozi kutoka area hiyo ama upande huo ndio wanapewa nyadhifa mbalimbali serikalini, ambayo sio jambo nzuri. Na ni vizuri kuavoid mambo kama haya kuelekea mbele. Wakenya wote wajisikia wakiwa Wakenya. Mambo ya kura na upinzani na ushindani uliisha. Sasa yule ambaye alichaguliwa atumikie Wakenya wote, kwa sababu wote wanalipa ushuru. Hii mambo ya kueneza dhana potovu na incitement na ambayo inatoka kwa deputy president, kwa sababu deputy president amekuwa akiincite, amekuwa akikejeli Wakenya wengine, mpaka Wakenya wengine wanaanza kujisikia kwamba wao sio Wakenya kama wale wengine kwa sababu ya ushawishi wao wa kisiasa. Kwa hivyo pia wale ambao walitwikwa nyadhifa mbalimbali za uongozi wajaribu kuwa na mwelekeo na watumike wisdom, wasirushe tu maneno ya kishenzi kama haya ya deputy president ambayo yanaweza leta mgawanyiko katika taifa letu. Wakenya wote tulipiga kura tukachagua kiongozi ambaye ni baba wa taifa. Baba wa taifa si wale ambao walimpigia kura, ni wote including wale hawakumpigia kura. Ni wakati wa kuunganisha Wakenya, Kenya iwe moja, tusonge mbele, tungoje wakati mwingine wa 2027. Lakini matamshi kama hayo ambayo hayafikiriwi vizuri anaweza yakaleta mgawanyiko. Asante.
Maoni mazuri sana kaa kwa studio. Naona Nash ako ndani, naona Charles Kamau ako ndani, Mason Sanda namuona ako ndani, Lisa Kauchi namuona ako ndani. Asante sana Baba the Fifth kwa kutujoin kwa show. Namuona Ole Tuko uko ndani ya show. Namuona Lemashan, nina swali kwako. Dennis, kuna point ana raise ya kuwa deputy president amekuwa akitoa maneno yanakaa kama ni coincide. Je, leo ilikuwa ni kama mwibo wa kujidunga ama ilikuwa ni sawa leo vile ilienda? Lemashan, ni wewe? Lemashan, unanisikia na kuona? Lemashan, unanisikia?
Network yake.
Okay. Wasike Junior, unanisikia?
His network.
Nakusikia.
Hebu niambie, unaona aje leo ni deputy president aliinsight watu sana mpaka ikabidi leo ajitokeze waseme Kenya ni yetu sote, ama unaona vipi?
Kwa maoni yangu mali hapa, I don't think in any way the deputy president fuel happened today. What happened today was just planned, and what we were waiting for is we were waiting to see what will happen. Unfortunately, I would say police officers tried fueling events that occurred today out of the actions they displayed in the morning. So it seemed like giving Baba. Let me make it clear: I'm not a supporter of Azimio. I'm a supporter of UDA. You know, it looked like we are giving Baba a lot of respect by deploying a lot of police officers within town, major highways, and everything. It looked like we are fueling this thing, like we are really accepting that Baba is strong. So in one another, it fueled the events had today. Even though they tried maintaining it in the afternoon when Baba came in, but we took the wrong time when we deployed police officers early in the morning. You saw a lot of instructions that in the morning with a lot of vehicles being stormed. So many businesses were closed after police officers were seen there. Places of work were also closed. Banks were closed because now there was a fear that something terrible is going to happen. What these people could have done, you know, they could have created a situation that was created back in 2018 by Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta when Raila Odinga was going to swear himself in. You see what Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta did, drew all the police officers. So in a way, he weakened Baba. But by deploying police officers as early as 6:30, as early as 5, then you're trying to tell this guy, hey man, we fear you. We know what you're capable of doing. So that's what brings destruction. I would love to also add that, you know, as Kenyans, we need to reach a point whereby we're not just focusing on pleasing people. We should not just focus on pleasing our leaders, but let us focus on what is beneficial to us. You know, I was trying to imagine if demonstrations happen every Monday, Baba is losing nothing. Many people, these politicians are losing. But we as Kenyans, you look at those mamas who sell things in town. You look at those boys who sell things in town. You look at these people who are doing businesses in town. You see, we are losing a lot of resources. We are losing so many things. So sometimes we do things emotionally, thinking we want to please these leaders. This morning, I was asking a friend of mine, do you know that if you happen to die today, Baba will not attend your funeral? Do you know that if you get injured today, Baba will not visit you in hospital? Neither will he pay your bills. So it is very important that we discover new ways of approaching issues other than approaching issues in the so-called proconsul methods, right? It is sad. It is sad that it is sad to note that these politicians are pursuing their own personal interests, and Raila, so to say, is pursuing his own personal interests. It goes without saying that he has businesses that are falling. In fact, I was also telling this friend of mine this morning that you see Baba's businesses, he's doing this gas business. It is running. You see, whether there are demonstrations or not, people will cook. Watu watapika na watatumia hiyo gas, biashara itaendelea. Lakini sisi ambao tunaenda kwenye street ikiharibika, sisi ambao tunauza vitabu, tunauza makalamu, tunauza maswiti, biashara imeharibika. You get? So it is really important that we discover the benefit should not be as my brother Dennis has said, si kwamba huyu alipigia Ruto kura na huyu alipigia Raila kura ni watu tofauti. We are all Kenyans. Yeah? So we need to get to the negotiating table and argue this thing realistically with a lot of respect. You know, we don't argue it at an emotional level. I don't want to talk much. That's done.
Yeah, but be there, sir. Allow me to ask Nelson. Wasike is bringing in another point of view that we didn't have to go to the streets. Probably would have tried dialogue. What do you think, sir?
Jake, first of all, I applaud Wasike. I think this is the first sound mind UDA supporter or Kenya Kwanza supporter that I'm listening to in this platform. But I needed to ask him a few questions. First of all, a point of correction, Wasike, Raila do not run a gas business. Raila is only selling what is called gas cylinder, but not the gas itself. So don't get it twisted, because there is a lot of propaganda also being sold out there. Gas business, Brookside, it's high time, just the same way you are saying. And you sound so polished, which I really love that. You sound so much informed. You have information, you have facts with you. You are not talking rumors. So it is also good that we get to know that all these things that these people yell with in political rallies, they're just yelling to make us feel like, you know what, the enemy that you are supposed to be fighting is the same person telling you to fight the government. I think he's making a point. We did not have to get to this point where we have to go and demonstrate on the streets just because we want high cost of living to be lowered down. Because Wasike, another point that I wanted to ask him is when he talked about Raila fighting for his own interest and the rest. I can assure you, we all know that today as we're speaking, Raila is old enough. And I think even if he decides and go back to Karen and sit down, he can never lack even a thing until he dies, together with his family until they die. In other words, I don't know if you're getting my point, but in other words, if this person has decided that despite the fact that I'm old, despite the fact that I'm comfortable and everything is at my disposal, I am going to the street, and my word is, actually, let us forget about the open the server thing. Forget about that. I think two things that are so much in contention here, which are so much genuinely being talked about here. One is cost of living. The other one is the constitution of our IBC commission. Because honestly speaking, Jake, we cannot have a platform whereby we are going into the field to play, and the team that is playing against the other team is the team that decided on the referee to, watch over the game. Elections are over. They're behind us. We need to focus. We need to come on the table. We need to talk about this thing, and we need to dialogue, and we need to reason. What we need to have, we need to have good political leaders and not good politicians in leadership. What the current president and the current deputy and the current everybody in the government has been portraying are good politicians with rhetorics and rumors, but not good political leaders.
Benson, I don't know what you see. How was it for you today? Did we accomplish what we intended to do when the day began? It was a mandamano day. Kindly, Mr. Bonja, I'm removing you until you wear something, a shirt or something. Mr. Bonja, I'm removing you so that you can wear a shirt. Now, Benson, what do you think? did it play out as it was planned?
Let me think. Let me say that I think it was good. As partly I was in Westlands, and tukakula tear gas kidogo when we reached town. Let me say, Baba is right. It's never too wrong. And Baba, there are two things Baba is saying that. One, first of all, about leave alone about the servers. Baba is talking about economy. Those are the real issues. He's also talking about the panel, the election panel that was elected by, that is seems to be selected, but the panel already has been selected by the government, and yet the law that was there, that was passed in the parliament, it was passed when the Asmio affiliates MPs were not there. And therefore, I can say attribute that the field is not well leveled for all the players to engage in another 2027 coming election, whereby that is now the pressing issues whereby is wanted to be engaged in, so that at least there will be a solution. Because even tomorrow I may be wanted to become a president, but when the field is not level right now, at this juncture, even at the future, it cannot. So therefore, Baba is trying to fight for us, but people will not see. This man called Raila Odinga, as you have seen, even he has already, starting from another 5 years down the line, has already he started also investing to the restaurants, hotel. For that guy, he has money. He has already made his money that even he can eat until he dies and live for his own children. So this man is really fighting for us.
Okay.
And therefore, we can say we can attribute Baba as an icon, because he cannot go to the bed while since Kenyans are dying. Because I personally am being paid, have a salary, maybe I have a business, but there are people there in the streets who do not afford even to get a little at 50 bob a day to eat. But the government is saying that they are looking for long solutions. But how can you look for long solutions? How can you look for long solutions when you see people are dying in the streets? People are dying in Mandera. People are dying in Isiolo, in Kajiado. Why don't you take that little that we have and feed them? And feed them as we wait for a long solution to fix the economy.
Okay.
I think the government is not right. One. Secondly, how can you use the entire budget of the office of the president, the office of the deputy president? Until now, it has been increased to another level. The share. Secondly, where
Kidogo tu,
in
kidogo
the
tu,
la in
I don't
the
know if it is me. Just one moment, Benz. I don't know if it's me, but your voice is breaking up. Is it okay, Nelson? Can you hear him well?
No, he's breaking up, but he's bringing
yes,
some
I
good
can
points.
hear you.
Yeah, you are bringing in some good points. If do this, Benson, log out, log in. It will try probably remove that feedback we are getting. Arika, how are you, my brother? I'm happy to see you.
Yep.
Welcome, Nyumbani.
Jack,
Thank
let
you,
me
Dix. Long time.
Always a pleasure to have you. Just kidogo tu, Nelson. David, I know you're far, but what do you make of what happened today?
A quick point from my side as a person. I think they really, to a large extent, flopped. Actually, that's what I can say. It flopped because Baba could not access not only State House but CBD, and to a large extent, I saw the lieutenants of Baba not there, like the likes of Jalango, who control the base of Kibra and other part, that's Langata, I think. By him coming out the previous day and calling his troops not to appear to the Mandamano, dealt a big blow to Baba.
Okay.
I also want to say that as a person, I didn't expect that kind of image we are seeing But to a large extent, our police restrain themselves quite well, because we have not had many cases of deaths or many injuries. So meaning some level of professionalism and tolerance was there. Marching forward, I want to appeal to all political players that let's sit down and talk. Because if we don't talk, we will fight. Let's talk and talk to one another, but not at each other. And lastly, I want to say that when we go to an election, let's be very honest to ourselves. We are going for two outcomes. There is no draw in elections. We either win or lose. When we lose, let's learn to say there's another day. We live to fight another day. When we win, we need to embrace others and know that these are also Kenyans. They had a good agenda for this country. Can we look for a way we can solve our problems without portraying our country as though it's a no-go zone?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jake, me, I'm here as a voice of reasons. And when somebody makes a mistake, I will not let them go scot-free without telling them. He has gone away, the last speaker. But I think it's good to have facts when we are coming on the show. Number one, according to Mr. David, he's talking as if he was expecting some reports of death cases. The problem we have in Kenya are people like him. Number two, Jalango do not control any base other than Wapek, which is his hotel. Jalango himself is being controlled by Baba. If you must have seen how he was chased away from a meeting in Machakos and the way he was looking at the people there, he was really feeling sorry for himself, but he didn't have any option. My question, which I wanted to throw in before he came on board, I wish you could have let me throw in that question so that I could have heard how he's reasoning. But again, it's sad that he's talking like that and he's not in this country. He doesn't know really what we're going through. If he thinks that Raila flopped or failed in his mission, that is him. I think he's the one who failed, and perhaps his expectations were not met according to his expectations. First of all, he promised a holiday, which the government in full force implemented. So he talked, and then people implemented. How? You bring a whole troop of police officers who are supposed to go. Do you think the government, we have police, we have KDF, let me say our military officers in Baringo. And time and again, the Minister of Interior has always said that they know where the bandits are hiding. The same way they knew where the Protestants, the people who are coming from Andaman in town, were standing and were assembling. Do you think if there is anything stopping the government to take the number of police officers they took to town today to go and fight bandits who are killing people, instead of fighting people who do not even, number one, do not have any arm, do not have any gun, do not have any panga? In fact, they're the people who incited them to start carrying stones. Do you think it was necessary?
Jax. Zinzao, I don't know if you can answer Nelson. Nelson is raising some valid questions. What do you think, sir? Me, I'm just a moderator. I don't know how to answer a question. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Zizao, it's
Jax,
you.
how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
How are you, Jax?
Go ahead. Yes, I'm fine. Salama sana, endelea.
I'm actually trying to get what some of colleagues are saying here, but I think I was part and parcel of those people who were so present in today's event. And I think first, as a person who was actually very present there, I think it was more of a holiday as per se, as thing happened in town. Even before noon, the deputy president had to say, "Kana kwamba we have." So, in the real sense, is that the government tried to protect something that they had already lost in the MEC. Actually, like Raila got it so successful in his old plans. whereby in any case I have had actually David trying to say like some of the members of Baba's side were not present. I don't think that they were so crucial because I actually got a certain lady from Nyamira trying to say like Baba is a human, or rather a human Gazette notice. So in the real sense, everything was happened just like how Baba said, because the plan B of Baba actually got it well.
Okay.
So I'm actually part of those people. I can attest kana kwamba I'm someone in uniform, and I will be just like if any case someone got to see a clip of an officer who actually had to run for his life.
Mm-hmm.
So it is issues about how do you take issues like okay, I've actually been given a mandate to go to actually give protection as per the law. But in any case, just like it does not happen that way. I'm a human being. I also have a life. I also have a life to live.
Zizao, I don't know if it's a net. I really needed to ask you one or two questions, but as you're working on that, Chelimo, Mister, how are you?
Kindly do ask.
Please do this. Either
I'm fine,
refresh or
sir.
something. You're having some degree of echo and some
I'm
lag.
fine,
Chelimo, some people are saying today
Charles.
was not
How
what
are you?
people were anticipating. According to you, uliona nini?
I think the Papa was so successful.
Mm-hmm.
As I told you 2 days ago, I
Mm-hmm.
talked to you to this forum 2 days ago, maybe 2 days or 3 days ago. I told
Uh-huh.
you Papa is more experienced. Papa is more experienced in
Mm-hmm.
politics than many of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Papa used a tactic whereby the government was focusing on the State House and the KICC.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of it all, you find that Papa went to Matare
Mm-hmm.
and addressed the crowd so successful
Mm-hmm.
because he knew he could not really go to State House, and
Okay.
you saw yourself it was really hard for him to go to State House.
Okay.
Another thing, it was really another day today to get our deputy president. You saw the deputy president today. The tone was so low when he spoke that when he told Raila, please stop these meetings for the sake of the government of the country. I think you have so in the. I think he was in. I don't know where he was, and it was my first time to get Mr. Gashagwa talking to so low. I think he was really requesting Raila on some on a leadership way to withdraw the demonstration. So as I saw today, the government taken was really.
Kindly mute.
I think that the
No.
government lost. I was really annoyed with the way Raila said. Although in our side here in Rift Valley we had no problem, but I was in Eldoret. Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you. Go ahead.
I'm saying, Chucks.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm saying, I went through to Eldoret today. I talked to some of my friends. You know, Eldoret is more than it's really UDA zone, but many people say it. Raila succeeded
Okay.
in today's demonstration. of which
Wacha nipe
everybody
maoni
even
yako
in
hapo kwa
Eldoret is
comment
really
section. Just one
facing
moment, Chelimo.
the same problem we are facing, as I said the other
Okay.
time.
Okay. Nisikie maoni
Yes.
yako kweli hapo kwa section. Did Raila succeed? I don't know about you. Tell us. Did he succeed? Go ahead and talk to us. Aman from Bondo, I can see you. Thank you for being part of the show. Chelimo, I don't know if you're through, but I have to ask you a question. Do you see
Yes.
a way forward despite all this? Do you see a solution?
Success.
Oh my. Chelimo Sikupati. Aman from Bondo, how are you?
I think what Papa said is on Monday there will be a continuation of the same rally, but if really our president is thinking and is really doing what is right for us, he can really make a decision between today and Monday.
Okay. So the president needs to make a decision between today and Monday. Aman from Bondo, do you think the president needs to do something between now and next Monday? Ama, whatever we saw today, it's okay. We need to see it every other Monday.
Okay. I think the president, in my own opinion, I think first, he has no idea what to do. As much as he would have wished to make a decision or sort of making a decision. And I think today when he did the swearing in was also a little bit tactical thing in case if there was an intrusion towards the State House with the swearing in, then that could have been a reason maybe to use extra force that could have been in plan without being in plan. And another thing I can say about Raila is as much as we talk of politics and a lot of things, there's something we call human philosophy and the brain, how it works. And if you'll ask me what Raila is doing, I will simply tell you, maybe not Raila, but maybe he's also equally getting advice from someone. One, going to State House or to KICC will have never been a success as much as he knows if he wanted, he could have made it or the people could have gone. One thing is that when you want to make people do something, there's no mandamano that can be successful, that people leave their livelihood to go for a mandamano in the city. They own nothing in the city. So if they own nothing in the city, and then they have to leave their business to go to the city, it wouldn't work. But if you stop their business for them to have nothing and something to be spoiled for a while because they didn't do some business, then there will be urge for compensating for the pocket. So if you want to take them to the city, trust me, they will get into the city. And they will do exactly what you think, not what you told them, and not what you didn't plan. So that's one of our technical way. And if Ruto is smart, he should have thought. Another thing is, anytime when you are at war, you have to learn your topography. There is a video whereby the police were running. You know, you cannot take war to where this, people have the control of the area. It wouldn't work. So already if the government has to be fixed, then technically, I will just say, he's dealing with people who have the skills. He's dealing with expertise, who could not be even the Raila himself, because Raila is political. But this, technically, I see too much expertise in it. And maybe he should find a way to reach him and find out what does he want or how does he want it?
Okay. Now, would dialogue really help? Because some of the demands that are being raised, some are slightly difficult to achieve because one, when we say the president to open the server, I don't know what law the president will be using for him to open the server. Now, as per you, how do you think we can go about toning down this pressure that is coming up?
I see a scenario whereby maybe splitting the country into two will come to be one of the options. Two, impeachment could be another thing on the way, alongside constant demonstration. And with this, we don't know which choice the president will have or in which corner he will be. And we don't know what maybe Raila will ask for or advocate for. So whether it will be, it's difficult to tell. But I think all of them, they're like in between a wall and a hard rock.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a situation that has...
You raise a point of impeachment, but the president is busy buying everybody. How can that come about? Because he has a super majority, if I may call it so.
It's not a problem, you know. When you don't have a country to run with the majority, then you become the fool. Yeah. And if there will be instability from the backstage where people are doing or exercising their economical right, and they've decided everything is on a standstill, as we saw, like in Madare and stuff, then probably the only place where there is something that is in store, like food, property, or something that anybody could have wished, is in the city. So if you make the economy at a standstill, then the invasion of the city is inevitable. And when it's inevitable that a mass has got nothing to eat, then we probably can tell exactly which direction they will be going. Maybe getting to State House will be easier. And maybe when it's already chaotic and out of hand, then you will not be able to control anybody, because already the problem that we've had as a nation is there has been a group of gangs where everyone wants to control a certain area, a certain zone. And if the government is destabilized, that is exactly what will happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a bad picture.
Jake, I haven't finished my contribution.
Okay.
Kidogo tu, Nelson. A man from Bondo, I don't know if you're through.
Okay, I was saying it was a very bad picture. That you could see the government trustee, the people we gave confidence in, or the government had confidence in them, fleeing. That's already a turn off. And we don't know what's going to happen. It's a thing that we shouldn't have taken risk, or we shouldn't take risk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nelson, briefly too, let me hear you.
Yeah, I started doing my contribution and you told me to cut to pause a little bit. So
and I'll be doing that so that at least now to Sky Sana studio.
Yeah. So my point was basically was talking about how Raila achieved his main agenda and main thing and main point. First of all, he promised a holiday, he delivered. Secondly, he paralyzed almost everything in Nairobi County, Kisumu County, Kakamega County, Busia County, Migori County. How many counties have been affected? So largely, we can tense, and even Eldoret County, there was some big tension. Now, one thing that the media plus the common mwananchi thinks, which is bad, is that, you know what, in Nairobi, it was only in Kibra, Mathare, Kayole, and those other places that were so dangerous to even operate in. What they are forgetting is that the people who own businesses in town employs people from Kibra, people from Mathare, people from those other places that they think are dangerous. It therefore means that if these people cannot turn up for work, even them, in fact, for them, once they've heard that there is some tension in town, they will never even start up their car to come to town.
Okay.
So basically, everything is at a standstill. Secondly, look at the manner in which people were agitated and so much spirited towards fighting the police in Kisumu, to be specific, for example, to an extent that the police ran out of tear gas. And they were telling them, Bwana, you people have eaten money for tear gas. Bwana, what are you doing? You mean you don't have tear? It got to a point where the police had to run away for their lives. My point is, if, and if is conditional, if people have to picket, does the government have to incite them through the police to bring chaos, cause mayhem, cause bloodshed? Because I can assure you, whatever happened today in town, for example, CBD Nairobi, all the offices and the buildings that were demolished in terms of glasses broken with stones, they demolished roads and whatever thing that happened, it was all police doing. Do we have to use the taxpayers' money? Do you know how much the government spent today on facilitating the police officers? How much? Could that money be used somewhere else where it is much more needed, where it can make a lot of difference, where it can make a lot of sense? Where are our priorities as a nation? Where are our priorities as leaders? What do we think? Do we really think of the Wanjiku that we promised the government will be about you? This government we are going to form is about Mama Mboga. Are we even seeing Mama Mboga being featured anywhere? Is there any Mama Mboga who was appointed as a CAS? Is there any Mama Mboga who was appointed as a PS in all those departmental heads that were created? Have we seen any hustler being appointed in any state corporation?
Okay. I pause you a bit. Allow me to still continue asking people. Continue talking to us through your comments. I see TD Clips, you are in. Johnny, I see you. Roy Captain, I see you. Ngatish D, I see you. I see Angie Angela, I see you. And Fali Tami, I see you. Now, I have seen Mama Maendeleo Oyudre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm coming to you because you're the lady now on the show. I don't know you as a mother today. What did you feel seeing all that is happening? Could we have avoided all this?
I've heard you people talking. How are you all?
We are well, thank you.
I'm glad to see you well, smiling nicely, which is the best for Kenya, actually. And I've heard you people talking. It's only that so many people do not understand one thing. This thing, this mandamano, everybody are now turning away from the reality and calling it Raila'S. This mandamano was not for Raila. It is for those people whom feel the pinch. And to speak the truth, there is a big pinch in them. I've been following you. Like yesterday, I heard you people talking so many things. Oh, bei ya unga imerudi to 180. Please, bei ya unga, I had to call back at Kenya, and they told me it's even worse in some shops, in some supermarkets. It's 280 instead of 250, because you know. There is, in Kenya, there are some supermarkets which are for class, people of class. There are some for ordinary people. Now the cheapest supermarket, which is for every local person, is are just, there's one called what? Not Tuskies, but I don't know its name. This yellow one. And the one I know is Quick Mart.
Naivas.
Naivas, yeah, Naivas. Those people are selling unga at 260. And I said, what? I heard it has been taken, reduced to 180. Then they were, where, so that we can go. So There are so many propaganda which are going on. So those who are feeling the pinch are the ones who, I remember when this idea of marching to State House or marching what came, because I've been following Kenyans so much. That time, Baba was in South Africa. And Jeremiah Kioni came with something like the whistleblower has given them the correct results for or how the elections were conducted. And they were waiting for Baba to come and give them Maelekeo. It is like a child has been beaten by a neighbor's child, so you have to take to your father. That is what happened to these people. They took it to Raila, and Raila said, okay, how do this happen to my child? And Raila now is like, let us go and see. Raila is just the mediator for these people who do not have a voice, who do not have what. And a child always, surely, when she brings he or she brings his cry, and take your child to that boy, that person, he's going to react. And this is what is happening in Kenya now. You know, the cry of the people is what Raila is acting for. This thing is not for Raila. It is for those people who have the grievances of njaa, mafuta iko juu, everything, school fees, I heard everything has been increased. But they don't have anywhere to go. The government is not ready to listen to them. No, the government of the day, whenever they are in the podium, they talk shit. They talk things which are not even called for. They are not giving hope to the people. So if we would have been having a government with hope to the people, even if things are so difficult, you know, it would have been different. But it can't be different because everything, they don't know where to go. They are like, which corner can we go to? Which mother can I go to? Which father can I go to? And this is why all that reaction was there. This what I wanted to put across, whoever is putting that Raila failed or what, nobody failed. In fact, the people who failed were the police officers who were spread to them, and actually they didn't do enough, which they were expecting. The police officers failed. And
Mama, if I may ask you, did we have to reach here?
Yes. As for me, we had to reach here because it is me as a mother who is crying. The baby, when I go back home, the baby is crying, Mama, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. But if I look aside, I can't see anywhere. I don't even see a woman like me to go and borrow from. And the baby is crying. I have to. In fact, I have to react. That is why some people even go and rob houses because there's a big cry. We had to. In fact, we would have reached more than this earlier on than when it happened now. So the government has to do something for the people. Not even talking with Raila, because talking with Raila will be between the two of them, or 3, 4, 5. But what about the rest who are feeling the pinch? Yeah. What about those people who are sleeping hungry, who do not have anything to put in front of them, whom their children cannot go to school, whom their ways have been thwarted, they don't have anywhere to go. So we must look at this thing in a broader line, not in that Raila and Ruto and these people are politicians, but look at the ordinary person who is suffering in Kenya. You know, with us, like me, I'm not suffering because I'm in a foreign country. I can go do anything, any kind of an odd job if I need money so much. But nyumbani hakuna hiyo odd job. You would like even to go and do an odd job, hata kuoshia mtu nguo. I remember there's a time I went home. Opening my door, I find 10 women in front of my door, they want to wash for me. I didn't even know what to do for them. Instead, what I had, I gave each and every person, enda ununue nini? Maziwa. Maziwa is what I can afford. Because they don't have. And that those jobs also, they are not there.
Okay.
So the government should do something. Let us not put Raila's name. Let us not even put, but the current government has to do something for the people of Kenya. Instead of appointing so many 50 CSS, what for? And your people are dying. Your people are in hunger. The drought is too much. I heard it is raining now, but even if it is raining, how long is it going to take for that for them to harvest? Thank you for now.
Just stick around, Mama. I'll still have a lot to ask you. I want to go to Josaman. I don't know if you're there and if you can hear me. Mama says that we ought to have reached here even sooner. Do you agree? And how was it for you today? Josaman, if you can unmute your mic so that I can hear you. Josaman, if you can hear me. Okay, seem to be having a problem. Dennis Oseko, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you very much. I keep on living because my phone is overeating. That is why. I want to say that we are in a situation we're in as a country because of the current leadership. The leadership doesn't realize that elections are over and that the leaders that are at the helm at the moment have a responsibility to provide leadership to those who voted for them and to those that never voted for them. We are seeing the president close to a year down the line. He is still moving around with members of his political battalion speaking against the opposition. You know, talking so much against the opposition and the election that is behind us is not part of what Kenyans expect of the leadership that was sworn in and that is in place. That is not going to be part of their track record. They need to deliver. They need to provide services to the electorate. So the president and his deputy president, who actually has a very loose mouth, says anything to the electorate that are supposed to be united because Kenyans are one. Whatever the situation in Mombasa, whatever the situation in Nyeri, is the same situation in Kisumu. So by the end of the day, if the president is providing or is creating a toxic environment and not to understand what he's supposed to do as a president, as the CEO of a country, who is not supposed to go take to the rooftops to be a crybaby. He's not supposed to tell us that he took over leadership and he found nothing. That is not what Kenyans want to hear. Kenyans want to hear solutions. And therefore, it is not just about what he will say. Solutions are not said. Solutions are done because he has the mandate. He is the president. He is at the helm. So therefore, he is supposed to provide the solution in doing and not just blaming the opposition leader who has no responsibility and who has no mandate to fix anything on behalf of the current government. And therefore, I just want to blame the current leadership for the situation in our country. And today's demonstrations, and as I said earlier, I still blame the police because they mismanaged the demonstrations. It ought not to have got chaotic as it happened. Because if the police allowed the demonstrators and the leaders of Raila Amolo Odinga, that is the opposition leaders, to address the crowd, it would be so easy. But you see this issue of police who are supposed to protect life and property. You see, they are now doing the opposite. They are the ones that are encouraging violence, and they are the ones that are even endangering the lives of those that they are supposed to, whose lives are they supposed to protect. So it is a very unfortunate situation, but the leadership ought to change their leadership style, stop the loose talk, and unite this country so that those who lost and still continue to pay taxes do not feel less Kenyans than some. And even the appointments that we've seen and we've witnessed are tribal. We have seen members of two communities dominantly getting appointed to various positions. This is not by accident. It is something that is purposed, and therefore Kenyans are watching. Kenyans are seeing what is happening, and you see these their reaction is long overdue, and we are expecting to see people demonstrate going forward if these two leaders do not talk, as they say in Swahili, fahari wawili wakipigana nyasi ndio umia. It is very unfortunate that the conversation now is not about ordinary people. It is about two individuals. But let's forget about these two individuals. If they could put their ego, their exaggerated self-importance, ego or character aside, and the mind about the plight of Kenyans, President Ruto should talk to Raila. But if it is about him, then he has no reason to talk to Raila. But as it is, and if they put Kenyans first, he should be able to swallow his pride. He is a father of the nation as it is now. He talks to Raila. He unites this country. Raila is equally Kenyan, like the many other Kenyans that are suffering. So, as a president, let him stop these partisan political declarations and loose talk and those connotations that are still want to put it out there that they are still competing. The time they contested and the time they were competing is behind us. It is time that he unites this country so that every taxpayer, every Kenyan feels part and parcel of this nation. So the buck stops with the president, the current leadership, and even the appointments that he does to government positions should reflect the face of Kenya. Otherwise, if he continues this way, this thing is going to burst and Kenyans are going to get out to the streets and this country is going to be ungovernable. Thank you.
Okay, I want to go back to man of Bondo just before I come to Chelimo and still come back to Maendeleo, Mama. Now, let me ask you, a man from Bondo, what do you think this makes outside there to the people in the other world, other nations rather? Are we tanking our image as a nation? Given that we are a nation that also get our revenue from tourists and all, are we tanking our economy through such mandamanos? Are we risking it?
Okay, thank you very much for the second chance. And I think that was a very, very good question. And it was a very wise question. And maybe before you asked it in that way, it was also part of something I wanted to address. We have to accept as a country, we have a problem. All of us, including me and you here. The first problem is the name and the term that has been used, ego. Ego. The kind of job somebody is given, you give people jobs, ego. And then another thing is knowledge, know-how. Not the desire, not the zeal. Another thing is the external influence, observation, or the question you've asked. You know, the most dangerous way of expressing your ignorance is the ability to be on the media with lack of proper information, or knowledge. Because the moment you're on the media, on the TV, you're very powerful. Everybody's watching. And you'll realize from the past political aspect, whichever, how many years it takes, there is no day Kenyan politicians will be on the same page. Today they are here, tomorrow they are there. This depicts a lot in culture from our childhood. You go to a school, a kid is taught to debate why being a girl is better than being a boy, why being a boy is better than being a girl. But you can either be a boy or a girl, not anything else. We are not asked of how important are we to each other, but is how better are we to the other sex. That is war, that is conflict, that is politics. That's where we get it wrong. Every woman, every girl will need a man, every man needs a woman. That is the basis of nature and the basis of understanding. The moment we get in our adolescence age, a woman feels a young woman's sexual need equally as a man. You go to a woman, not a man. This is why even in marriages we fail. So when we come to the media, we argue, we give an enemy the best platform, an informed enemy on how to capitalize on us. One thing that I will leave you or teach you today, anytime there's any political conflict or there will be a mandamano, expect a lot of foreign dignitaries, expect fundings. Why? That is the best time to get your prey. And when we go on the media, we expose our ignorance. We expose our inabilities. So it's a good thing. So that's why you get this external advisory where they will say, don't go to Kenya this time or don't do this. I will tell you for free, said, not said, no educated foreign, whether stupid or foreign person that will get into the country unless they're coming to capitalize on the situation. Full stop. So that's not a question. Another thing I would like to talk about, we have the reality, something called reality. Most of us, we live an illusionary life, think illusionary, and everything is illusion. We talk about power, we talk about food, we talk about prices. How much do we do farming? How many people are farming here? We complain of how much we give back at home. But do we give or pay people to do some jobs as farming, they get it as produce? Politically, what situation do we put in the country for these economical activities to thrive? If somebody who is a learned carpenter hello?